You were not born on a random day, nor did your soul arrive on earth by mere accident. The moment you entered this world was not just a biological occurrence, it was a spiritual event, orchestrated by the creator of the universe with deliberate precision. Before your first breath, before your first cry, before time even began, heaven knew you. Just as God spoke to Jeremiah saying, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born I consecrated you." The same divine intimacy exists over your life. And within the sacred calendar of your life, the month in which you were born carries a prophetic whisper from heaven, a signal, a spiritual marker that unveils your calling, your giftings, and your mission on this earth. The purpose of this message is not to confine you to a box, but to awaken you. It is to remind you that your story was written by the author of eternity, and every chapter, including your birth month, holds significance in the grand narrative of his kingdom. January. The visionary leaders, carriers of new beginnings. Those born in January carry the spirit of Genesis, the beginning of all things. Just as God spoke light into darkness and shaped order from chaos, January souls are divinely anointed to initiate, to lead, and to pioneer where no path yet exists. There is a quiet strength within you, a sacred fire that compels you to take the first step even when the way forward is unclear. You don't wait for direction. You become the direction. Visionaries by nature, you see possibilities where others see limitations. You sense opportunity in the void, and without needing applause, you move forward with purpose. This divine calling is not loud or boastful. It leads by example. Like a torchbearer in the night, your life brings motion to what is stagnant and light to what feels lost. You were not made to follow. You were born to begin, because heaven chose you to carry the power of new beginnings. February. The peacemakers. Ambassadors of compassion. Born in February, you carry a divine gentleness that speaks louder than words. Your spirit is attuned to the quiet suffering of others, sensing what many overlook. This deep empathy isn't weakness, it's a sacred strength. Where there is conflict, you bring calm. Where there is pain, your presence becomes healing. Like Jesus, presented in the temple during this month as a symbol of purity and peace, your life is marked by a quiet holiness. You were chosen to be a bridge, connecting hearts, mending wounds, and restoring understanding. You don't seek the spotlight, yet your influence is undeniable. Your calling is to soothe what's broken, to listen with love, and to be a living reflection of God's compassion in a hurting world. March, the stormwalkers, anchors in transition. Those born in March are shaped by seasons of change. Like the month itself, a bridge between winter's end and spring's beginning, your soul was designed to stand firm in transition. You carry a quiet strength, the kind that endures chaos without losing clarity. Your faith does not depend on circumstances. It holds steady, even when the path is hidden. Much like Noah, who obeyed God in the face of disbelief, you are called to trust deeply and act faithfully, even when the world wavers. Trials don't weaken you, they refine you. Your presence brings grounding to those tossed by life's storms. You are not simply surviving hardship. You are leading others through it, proving that God anchors those who walk with Him through every season. April. The resurrection bearers. Flames of hope. April is the month of rebirth, of resurrection, and of miracles in motion. If you were born in this season, your calling is restoration. Your life echoes the story of Jesus' triumph over the grave, reminding the world that no ending is final when God is still writing. Your soul carries an unrelenting hope. Even when buried in sorrow, your spirit reaches for the light. You rise not once, but again and again. And each time, you return stronger, wiser, and more radiant. You are proof that beauty grows from ashes. Wherever you go, you bring the aroma of new life. People who feel hopeless in your presence remember how to breathe again. You were sent to ignite lost dreams, to show that starting over isn't weakness, it's divine. May. The faith warriors. Pillars of courage. If you were born in May, you carry a steadfast spirit that stands tall when everything else begins to shake. Your courage isn't loud. It's deeply rooted, revealed through quiet strength and unwavering faith. Like David facing Goliath, you don't rely on appearances or noise, but on a deep conviction that God is with you. You are often the one others turn to when things fall apart, because your presence brings calm, stability, and hope. Even in your own battles, you reach out to strengthen those around you. This is your divine calling: to be a shelter in life's storms, a voice of peace in the midst of fear, and a living reminder that true strength is born from faith that refuses to give up. June, the builders, architects of foundation. Those born in June are gifted with the wisdom to build what lasts. You are not drawn to quick fixes or fleeting applause. Instead, you seek depth, strength, and purpose in all that you do. Like the wise man who built his house upon the rock, your soul is wired for stability. You think ahead, plan carefully, and lay foundations that others can safely stand on. Your strength lies in your ability to create order from vision, whether in relationships, projects, or ministries. People trust you because your presence brings structure, and your actions speak louder than words. This is your calling: to build not just for today, but for the future. You are a spiritual architect, crafting spaces where faith can grow and purpose can thrive. July, the seekers, illuminators of truth. Born in July, you carry a deep inner hunger, not for surface answers but for truth that transforms. Your spirit is drawn to the depths, always questioning, always seeking, always yearning to understand what lies beneath. Like Thomas, who longed to touch the truth for himself, your faith is not blind. It is thoughtful, sincere, and courageous. You are not afraid to ask hard questions, because you know that honest seeking leads to divine revelation. Others may have mistaken your curiosity for doubt, but in truth, it is part of your calling. You were born to shine light into hidden places, to challenge the shallow, and to help others grow deeper in their faith. Through your insight, authenticity, and passion for what is real, you lead others closer to the heart of God. August, the sacred seekers, carriers of eternal longing. If you were born in August, your soul carries a quiet yearning for something beyond this world. You are not satisfied with what is temporary or shallow. Your heart longs for the eternal. Like the disciples who witnessed Jesus' transfiguration on the Mount, you've been given glimpses of divine glory, and your life reflects a hunger for heaven even as you walk the earth. You see beyond appearances. While others are caught in the moment, your eyes are fixed on what is unseen. This sacred longing draws others to question, to reflect, and to seek deeper meaning. Your presence awakens spiritual hunger in those around you. You were chosen to be a bridge between the visible and the invisible, to remind the world that eternity is real, and only the sacred can satisfy the soul's deepest thirst. September, the kingdom organizers, instruments of divine order. Those born in September are natural-born organizers, gifted with the ability to bring clarity and structure where there is chaos. Just as God brought order to the universe in the beginning, you have the divine calling to bring alignment to situations, relationships, and projects. Your mind is sharp, focused, and attuned to the details that others might overlook. You have a unique ability to see the bigger picture while ensuring every piece fits perfectly into place. People trust you because your actions are intentional, and your presence brings peace and direction. Your role is not to create disorder, but to be a catalyst for purpose and structure. Like an architect who designs with both wisdom and care, you were born to build foundations, realign paths, and organize what is out of place. Your gift is vital in the kingdom, preparing the ground for future growth and fruitfulness. October, the soul renewers, winds of transformation. If you were born in October, you carry the powerful gift of transformation. Much like the changing season, your presence brings renewal and new beginnings. You understand that growth often requires letting go, and like the falling leaves, you help others release what no longer serves them in order to embrace the beauty of what is to come. Your soul is attuned to the rhythms of change, and you have the ability to guide others through transitions with wisdom and grace. Where there is stagnation, you bring movement. Where there is weariness, you bring fresh energy. Your calling is to awaken what has grown dormant, to break cycles of stagnation, and to inspire those around you to step into the new things God has for them. You are the gentle yet powerful wind of change, helping others embrace transformation, knowing that every ending is a new beginning. November. The Intuitives, Prophets of Insight. Those born in November are gifted with a rare and profound sensitivity. You have the ability to perceive what is hidden, to sense what others cannot see, and to discern truth in the midst of confusion. Like spiritual prophets, your intuition is a divine compass, guiding others through the fog of uncertainty. Your heart is attuned to the unseen, and you are often able to uncover what is buried deep within others' souls. This gift allows you to offer wisdom and direction in ways that feel almost supernatural. While others may overlook subtle signs, you understand the deeper meanings behind them. Your calling is not only to discern, but also to reveal, bringing light to hidden truths and guiding people toward clarity. You are an instrument of spiritual insight, chosen to illuminate paths that others cannot find on their own. December. The Promise Bearers, Lights in the Darkness. If you were born in December, you carry the spirit of hope and promise. Like the birth of Christ, your life shines as a beacon of light in times of darkness, a living reminder that God always keeps His promises. In a world that can often feel lost or uncertain, you bring a warmth that rekindles faith and renews hope in others. Your presence is a comfort to those who are struggling, and your quiet strength speaks volumes. Just as Jesus' birth marked the fulfillment of a divine promise, you too are a living testimony of God's faithfulness. You were born to inspire others to hold on to hope, even in the darkest moments. Your calling is to carry the light of God's promises into the world, to remind others that even in waiting, His plan is unfolding. You don't just reflect light, you activate it in those around you, igniting faith, joy, and the assurance that God is always at work. Each month of the year carries a unique divine purpose, and if you're listening this, it's no coincidence. Whether you were born in the beginning of the year or the end, know that your life is part of a greater plan, written with intention by the Creator. Your birth month is not just a date on a calendar. It is a key to understanding your divine calling and the gifts you were created to share with the world. Now that you've discovered what your month reveals about your mission, take this truth with you into your journey. Embrace your purpose, walk boldly in your calling, and know that you are not alone. Heaven has equipped you for everything ahead. Thank you for taking the time to watch and reflect on your unique calling. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to hit subscribe and join our community of like-minded individuals. By subscribing, you'll receive more inspiring content to help guide and awaken the purpose within you. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this reminder that their life was chosen and their mission is divinely set. Keep shining, and we look forward to sharing more powerful revelations with you. Have you ever looked back on your childhood and asked, why did I go through that? Have you ever wondered why you've always felt different? Why life brought you strange favor and fierce battles, even when you were too young to understand them? Let me tell you, this isn't coincidence. This is confirmation. You were chosen. Before the world labeled you. Before the pain tried to define you. Before anyone else recognized it. He had already marked you. And the signs have been there since your earliest breath. In this message, we are going to uncover 10 life-changing signs that God handpicked you for a purpose from the very beginning. So open your heart, because what you're about to discover might explain everything. Sign 1. You faced spiritual warfare as a child. From the moment you entered this world, the enemy noticed you. Long before you could speak or pray or dream, hell had already recognized the fingerprint of heaven on your life. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." This isn't poetic fluff. This is divine strategy. Moses was marked for deliverance, and Pharaoh tried to wipe him out as an infant. Jesus, our Savior, hadn't performed a single miracle, yet King Herod ordered a massacre in Bethlehem just to prevent his rise. These are not isolated events. They are patterns. If your childhood was filled with trauma, instability, rejection, or emotional torment, it wasn't because you were weak. It was because you were dangerous. The enemy tried to destroy what God destined to deliver. But every battle became a lesson. Every scar, proof of survival. Every tear, water for your future harvest. You didn't just survive your childhood. You were being shaped for your calling. Sign 2. You never quite fit in. From a young age, you sensed it. You were different. While others seemed to flow easily with the crowd, you often felt like a stranger among familiar faces. No matter how hard you tried to blend in, something within you resisted. This feeling wasn't a flaw. It was a sign. God never meant for you to conform. He set you apart for a higher calling. John 15:19 says, "You do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of it." That distinction can feel isolating, but it's actually divine. Joseph didn't fit in with his brothers because he carried dreams from God they couldn't understand. David was overlooked by his family, yet chosen by heaven. Even John the Baptist, peculiar and wild, had a destiny no one else could carry. You weren't made to fit the mold. You were made to break it. That sense of not belonging? It's proof that you were always meant to lead. Sign 3. You've been rejected without reason. Have you ever walked into a room and felt unwanted, even before saying a word? Or had people turn against you for reasons you couldn't explain? This kind of rejection isn't always about who you are, but about what you carry. The light within you can stir discomfort in those still walking in darkness. It challenges, exposes, and convicts, even without intent. Joseph's brothers despised him not because he harmed them, but because his dreams made them uneasy. David endured Saul's jealousy, and Jesus was hated for speaking truth and walking in power. Your rejection is not a curse, it's a clue. It reveals the weight of your calling. When opposition rises without reason, it's often a sign that heaven's hand is resting heavily on your life. Sign 4. You carry an unshakable compassion for others. Since you were young, your heart broke easily for others. You cried for pain that wasn't yours. You longed to help the hurting, even when you couldn't explain why. That's not emotional fragility. That's a divine assignment. Philippians 2:4 says, "Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others." Moses felt this when he saw a Hebrew beaten. Nehemiah wept for Jerusalem before he ever built a wall. Jesus himself was moved with compassion. God places a burden where he intends to build. But hear this: you are not called to burn out. Even Jesus withdrew to pray. Moses learned to delegate. Your heart is powerful, but it must be stewarded. Help with wisdom. Love with boundaries. Serve with balance. You are not just kind, you are called. Sign 5. You've had close calls with death. There have been moments in your life when death came close, too close. Whether through illness, accidents, or silent battles with despair, you've walked through shadows that should have swallowed you. But they didn't. And that's not by chance. It's by design. God's hand has preserved you because your purpose is not yet complete. Moses floated safely through a crocodile-infested river. Daniel slept peacefully beside lions. Paul survived shipwrecks and snake bites. Jesus escaped several assassination attempts before his appointed time. You were spared, not just to live, but to lead. Your life is marked by divine protection, because what you carry is too valuable to be lost. You're still here for a reason. Sign 6. Unexplainable favor follows you. There are doors you've walked through that you didn't even knock on. Opportunities that found you when you felt least qualified. Others noticed it too. Favor seems to follow you. This isn't luck. It's evidence of God's hand on your life. Like Joseph, who prospered even in prison, or Esther, who was chosen out of thousands, divine favor surrounds those with a divine purpose. When you're chosen, even broken paths can lead to blessing. But favor is not just for your benefit. It's for your assignment. With every open door comes a responsibility to serve, lead, and uplift others. You were favored not to shine alone, but to reflect God's glory wherever He places you. Let that favor point others to Him. There's 2. Sign 7. You were rejected by people closest to you. Few wounds cut deeper than rejection from those you love, family, friends, or trusted voices. Their silence, criticism, or betrayal left scars that still ache. But this pain often carries a purpose. Joseph was rejected by his brothers, not for wrongdoing, but because of the dreams God gave him. Jesus himself was not received by his own people. Their rejection didn't stop his mission, it fulfilled it. Sometimes God uses rejection to push you into the very place He's prepared for you. What felt like abandonment was actually redirection. You weren't rejected because you lacked worth. You were rejected because your calling made others uncomfortable. Sign 8. Your gift made you stand out early. Even as a child, there was something different about you. While others played, you created. While others followed, you led. You didn't ask to stand out. Your gift simply wouldn't let you blend in. This uniqueness wasn't accidental. It was divine. Proverbs 18:16 says, "A man's gift makes room for him." Like David playing the harp for a king or Daniel interpreting dreams as a youth, your gift was an early glimpse of your greater purpose. But remember, your gift is not about recognition. It's about responsibility. You weren't gifted just to impress, but to impact. When surrendered to God, your gift becomes a tool to transform lives. Sign 9. You've faced setbacks that felt unfair. You've worked hard, prayed faithfully, yet faced losses that didn't make sense. Doors closed, plans crumbled, and it often felt like you were moving backward. But those setbacks weren't punishment. They were preparation. Romans 8:28 reminds us that, in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. Job lost everything, yet God restored him double. David fled for his life, but gained a throne. Jesus was crucified, but rose in power. God wastes nothing. The betrayal taught you boundaries. The loss taught you trust. The delay taught you to listen. Every setback shaped the version of you that can now handle the blessing ahead. Sign 10. You've always hungered for God. Even as a child, you sensed there was more. You were drawn to the spiritual, while others chased the superficial. You didn't know why, you just felt it. Psalm 42:1 describes it perfectly. As the deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, my God. Samuel heard God as a child. Mary sat at Jesus' feet while others served. That hunger was not natural, it was supernatural. God planted it in you because He wants to use you. Never let that flame die. Feed it. Protect it. Let it drive your decisions and shape your destiny. If these signs stirred something in your heart, it's because the truth is waking up inside you. You were chosen. Before you were born. Before the world knew your name. Before the battles. Before the favor. Before the tears. You were His. So today, don't just accept your calling. Embrace it. Don't shrink back. Step forward. If this message confirms something deep in your soul, type in the comments, "I was chosen before I was born." Let the enemy know. You've awakened to your purpose. Let the world know. You're stepping into your calling. And before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this message. Someone else needs to hear this truth. God bless you, mighty warrior. You were chosen from the cradle. Have you ever felt different? Not just unique in your interests or talents, but deeply different. Like the rhythm of life beats differently in your soul. Perhaps, in the quiet moments of solitude, you've sensed an unseen presence gently nudging you, reminding you that your journey holds a deeper purpose. If you've ever had that unmistakable inner whisper urging you to look beyond the surface, you might be one of the rare few, the chosen ones. In every era, across every culture, there have always been individuals who walk a path that others cannot see. They are often misunderstood, even isolated, but they shine with a light the world cannot ignore. These are the ones marked by something divine, something extraordinary. Today, we're going to uncover 10 powerful spiritual signs that often mark a soul chosen by higher forces. As we explore each one, allow yourself to reflect deeply. You may just discover that you are far more powerful, more called, and more spiritually aligned than you ever imagined. Sign 1. Unexplainable synchronicities. The language of the universe. There are moments in life that feel strangely perfect, too timely, too precise to be mere coincidence. For the chosen ones, these moments happen often. They're called synchronicities, and they serve as subtle signs that the universe is in conversation with your soul. You might be thinking of someone out of the blue and just then they call. Or a rare symbol appears repeatedly, in books, on signs, even in dreams, until its deeper meaning becomes impossible to ignore. These experiences feel magical, but they are more than that. They are markers of alignment. For those on a higher spiritual path, synchronicities appear when something important is unfolding. They are quiet nudges from the divine, steering you toward truth, healing, or clarity. Over time, you begin to recognize these moments as part of a larger tapestry. They remind you that you are not wandering aimlessly. You are being gently guided, step, by something greater. Sign 2. Heightened empathy. Feeling the world in your bones. Being chosen often means carrying more than your own emotions. It means sensing the heartbeats of others as if they were your own. This is the gift and the burden of heightened empathy. You don't just notice someone's sadness, you feel it, heavy and real. Their joy becomes your joy, their pain, your ache. In crowded spaces, this can become overwhelming. The weight of unspoken thoughts, silent struggles, and hidden wounds floods your senses, sometimes without warning. But this empathy isn't limited to people. Many chosen souls feel deeply connected to animals, plants, and even spaces. A wilting flower may stir sorrow in your chest. A distressed animal may draw you in like a magnet. This connection isn't imagined. It's intuitive, spiritual, and very real. Though it can be draining, this empathy is also a sacred gift. It gives you the power to comfort, to understand without words, and to heal simply by being present. The world feels deeply because you feel deeply, and in that lies your strength. Sign 3. Vivid prophetic dreams, messages from the beyond. For many chosen ones, nightfall marks not an end, but a beginning. While the world sleeps, their spirit awakens, stepping into a dream realm rich with meaning and mystery. These dreams are not vague or forgettable. They're vivid, emotionally charged, and often linger long after waking. You might wake with a racing heart, a clear memory, or a deep sense that something important just happened. And more often than not, it did. Prophetic dreams can show you places you've never visited, until you do. They echo future conversations, unlock buried emotions, or bring messages through symbols, signs, or even loved ones who've passed on. These aren't random scenes. They are sacred messages, whispers from a higher realm, wrapped in the language of imagery and feeling. To dream like this is to live between two worlds. And for the chosen, both are equally real, equally meaningful. Sign 4. Communication with spirit guides. You are never alone. There are times when you sense a quiet presence nearby, gentle, calming, and undeniably real. It's not fear you feel, but peaceful. For many chosen ones, this is the first sign of connection with a spirit guide. These guides aren't figments of the mind. They are wise, unseen companions assigned to support your journey. You may first notice them in meditation, prayer, or silence, a thought that brings clarity, a feeling that you're not alone. As your awareness deepens, so does the connection. You might begin to notice symbols, repeating numbers, or sensations that seem to arrive right when you need them most. Some guides walk with you for a lifetime, others appear during key moments of growth. This sacred bond doesn't require perfection, just openness. And when you truly listen, you'll discover you've never been walking this path alone. Sign 5. Seeing auras. The colors of the soul. Some chosen ones possess a rare and beautiful gift, the ability to see what lies beyond the surface. They see auras, the subtle energy fields that surround all living beings. At first, it might appear as a soft glow or a flicker of color around someone's body. But with time, it becomes more vivid. Colors tied to emotions, health, and even spiritual state. A vibrant blue may signal calm wisdom, a fiery red, intense energy, a murky gray, hidden pain. These colors are not just visual, they are emotional signatures, revealing what words often cannot express. To see auras is to perceive the unseen truth in others. It brings both insight and responsibility. In crowded spaces, the swirl of energies can be overwhelming, but with grounding, this gift becomes a powerful tool for healing and connection. Through this lens, chosen ones see the soul, not just the skin, and in that vision, they offer light. Sign 6. Inexplicable physical sensations. The body awakens. For the chosen ones, spiritual awakening often begins in the body. Long before the mind understands, the body feels. You may experience strange, unexplainable sensations, tingling in your hands, warmth in your chest, pressure on your forehead, or sudden waves of energy flowing through your spine. These aren't random. They are signs that your energy centers, your chakras, are activating. Some feel these shifts during meditation or moments of deep emotion. Others experience them in nature or during sudden bursts of clarity. You might feel a flutter in your heart when truth is spoken, or a chill when entering a spiritually charged space. These sensations aren't cause for fear. They are confirmations. Your spirit is waking up, and your body is responding. To feel this way is to be alive in a deeper sense. The physical becomes a gateway to the spiritual. And in that awakening, you begin to walk your path with greater awareness, guided from within. Sign 7. Repeating numbers, angelic whispers in digits. Why does 1111 keep showing up? Could it be more than coincidence? Not a coincidence, but a quiet nudge from the universe. Or notice the same number sequence, 222, 444, 777, following you everywhere? For the chosen ones, these aren't coincidences. They are messages, gentle whispers from the divine, delivered in numbers. Each repeating sequence carries meaning. 111 may signal a new beginning. 333 might remind you of spiritual alignment. 555 often points to transformation ahead. These numbers tend to appear in moments of doubt, decision, or awakening, as if the universe is saying, "You're not alone. Keep going." Over time, chosen souls develop an inner sensitivity to these signs. They begin to understand that numbers are more than math. They're spiritual codes, woven into everyday life. When you start to notice these patterns, don't ignore them. Pause. Reflect. You are being guided, quietly, constantly, by a language older than words and as precise as light itself. Sign 8. Deep connection to nature. Earth as sacred teacher. For many chosen ones, nature isn't just a place, it's a presence. There's a quiet, sacred bond that connects their spirit to the earth, the trees, the sky. Time spent in nature doesn't just refresh them, it restores them. As if the wind itself is whispering wisdom only their soul can hear. You might feel a deep love for animals, or an instinctive desire to protect forests, oceans, and all living things. Even plants may respond to your presence, thriving under your care, as though they recognize you. In moments of stillness, you may sense the heartbeat of the earth, or feel messages riding the breeze. Nature becomes your sanctuary, your teacher, and your mirror. This connection isn't random. It's a reminder that you too are part of creation. That the divine speaks not only in dreams or visions, but through sunlight, through soil, and through the sacred silence between the trees. Sign 9. Sense of greater purpose. A calling you cannot ignore. From a young age, many chosen souls carry a quiet but persistent feeling. I'm here for something more. It's not about fame or fortune. It's about meaning. Even in moments of confusion or hardship, there's an unshakable sense that your life has purpose, that you were meant to impact the world in a way only you can. This inner calling may not come with clear instructions, but it whispers in your decisions, your dreams, your restlessness. Ordinary paths may feel suffocating. Shallow conversations may drain you. You crave depth, truth, and alignment with something greater than yourself. For the chosen, this purpose isn't about personal gain. It's about service, healing, awakening, uplifting others through your unique gifts. And even when the road feels unclear, that inner pull won't let go. Because it's not just a desire, it's a divine assignment. One that's been woven into your soul since before you were born. Sign 10. Spiritual crises and awakening. Fire before flight. For many chosen ones, awakening doesn't begin in light. It begins in darkness. Before stepping into purpose, they pass through seasons of pain, loss, isolation, confusion, or emotional collapse. These spiritual crises feel like the breaking of everything, but in truth, they are the unfolding of who you really are. You may have questioned everything, your beliefs, your worth, even your place in the world. But that collapse wasn't an end. It was an invitation. Like the phoenix, you had to burn before you could fly. Through this fire, illusions fall away. What remains is your truth, your resilience, and a soul forged by flame. You begin to see with new eyes, love with deeper compassion, and rise with purpose you couldn't access before. Spiritual crises are not punishments, they are initiations. And for the chosen, they mark the moment when life stops being ordinary and starts becoming divine. If any of these signs stirred something within you, trust this. Your presence here is no coincidence. You are part of something greater, called to awaken, to heal, and to shine. Your journey may not look like anyone else's, but it is sacred, powerful, and needed. Thank you for walking this path with me today. If this message spoke to your soul, please consider subscribing to this channel. Your presence here matters, and together, we'll continue exploring the beauty, depth, and purpose of your spiritual journey.